You mentioned some secret about the Guyver. You mind elaborating? I was in Kronos myself for a while, but there's still a lot of things I don't know.
All right, then. If you think you're ready, I'll tell you everything I know. The truth behind the Guyver units, the creators and the zoonoids, including the truth behind humankind itself. There was a race of alien creatures who came to Earth from far beyond our galaxy, the creators. We know now that they manipulated the Earth's ecosystem over the course of several billion years in an attempt to give rise to a very specific kind of life form. They needed something with high intelligence, strong survival instincts, and the ability to adapt to any environment. A fearsome, aggressive life form meant to serve as a weapon. After countless years, a creature that could serve as a base for that life form was created. And those creatures were us, all of humankind.
You expect me to buy that? You're telling us that we're nothing but a bunch of living weapons created by some alien race? That's what people are?
It was difficult for me to accept as well, but it's true.
Now that you mention it, Gio talked about the exact same thing. That we were all made as the basis for a series of bioweapons.
It makes sense. After all, human history is built on conflict. We seem to have a powerful inclination towards war and brutality. Perhaps we're subconsciously fulfilling our purpose.
You see, the zoonoids are just normal humans who have been optimized for combat. Optimization is the process of artificially inducing genetic mutations in order to create a new form, or augment a specific ability. Human attributes allow for the possibility of transformation from the default into a secondary form. However, all zoonoids are subject to the will of the zoolords. Like Yo and Barkus, they can command large numbers of zoonoids through psychic manipulation.
And you have the same powers, because you are a prototype for Gio's zoolord form.
That's correct. I was able to use those powers to destroy the Enzyme 2s, even if I couldn't break Barkus's psychic control over them. Just as zoonoids are forced to submit to the zoolords are genetically programmed to demonstrate absolute obedience to the creators. But now, it's all history. In the end, humans were never used in combat. Shortly after completing their experiment, the creators departed from the Earth. Perhaps some interstellar war that they were involved in had drawn to a close. Or perhaps they were influenced by some outside force. Unfortunately, their intentions have been buried beneath the sands of time. Scarcely had it been created when mankind was abandoned before its true purpose could be realized. Left without the guiding hands of the creators, optimized zoonoids crossbred with normal humans, and bit by bit, their legacy faded away. But there's still a chance that some of them survived. The monsters spoken of in folklore throughout the world may have been the descendants of those very zoonoids.
Then what about the Guyvers? We already know that they're organic weapons. Were they created using humans as a base, too?
No, they're different.
Huh?
Originally, the Guyvers were to be used by the creators.
Creators?
Believe it or not, they were standard equipment. As you know, the Guyver unit fits itself to its host body, then optimizes their conditioning and enhances their physical capabilities. Even if the creators had been a group of many different alien races, the units would be able to adapt to each of their needs. It may be the most versatile weapon ever created. And then the creators had an idea. What if they equipped a human being with a Guyver unit? They were probably interested to see what would happen if two different living weapons were combined. It was like a game to them. However, they got far more than they bargained for. The bio-boosted human exhibited power that was hundreds of times greater than when the creators themselves donned the unit. But what was more terrifying to them than anything else was the fact that the Guyver unit freed its host from their mental control. They had accidentally created a monster far more powerful than the zoonoids that was no longer subject to its master's commands. The creators called it abnormal, non-standard, out of control, or in their language, Guyver. Their curiosity led them to discover something even more terrifying. If a zoolord were to equip one of the Guyver units, it'll become a super being with a power far surpassing that of the creators themselves.
That's incredible.
That may be why the creators suddenly abandoned the planet. They were running away. Everything else I've told you is based on information Professor Yamamura and Kronos procured from various ruins throughout the world. However, the last piece about Zoalords equipping the Guyver units is most likely a secret even to Kronos. Other than myself, the one man who may know is Richard Gio.
Gio knows.
Then that must mean his goal is to...
Right. He wants to have a Guyver unit of his own. Then he'll use it to destroy the other Zoalords. He'll rule this world with the power of a god.